YouTube, how we doing? Today we're going to be going into our next episode of the 7-round mock draft series, and it's going to be the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals fans, before we get into this, leave a like on the video if you guys are excited for this next season. This is a good season for you. You know, despite all the hate that it got towards the end of the season, you started off with 8-0. I mean, that's an incredible feat. This is a team that definitely has all the tools to compete. One of the best receivers in the game, one of the best quarterbacks in the game. You guys are able to do a lot this season, and I'm just going to be here trying to add to it. So if you guys are excited, please do leave a like on this video. Subscribe if you are new, and of course, turn those notifications on. Comment down below who you want out of all the rounds in this draft. What is one player that you're looking at for this Arizona Cardinals team? Without further ado, we're going to get right into it. My first selection here is at pick 23. I got the Cardinals taking Traylon Burks, the receiver out of Arkansas, where a lot of players or a lot of analysts, they're kind of going after this role of the Cardinals need an edge rusher, D-line help. They need another corner. And while those are all true, we saw what happened when DeAndre Hopkins got hurt. And that was with Christian Kirk and A.J. Green on the roster. Now you look at it, and it's just Rondale Moore behind him. They need some receiving help, and they need it bad. And Traylon Burks has the upside of being, possibly as good as it's hard to be, but DeAndre Hopkins level. He plays very similar to what DeAndre Hopkins can do, but just at a very lesser level, obviously. He consistently is going to win those 50-50 balls because of his size and his ability, his physicality and stuff like that. He's a pretty big-bodied receiver relative to the other guys at the position. But he is more of a possession receiver than a rack guy. He's not really going to be doing these crazy moves after the catch and making all these plays. And obviously he can develop that and he can get better at that. But as of right now, he's more or less going to bring the catch down and maybe get a couple more yards. But that breakaway ability, those big play ability, it's not necessarily there with Traylon Burks. But he has all the physical tools to compete at each level of the field. He can route run well. He can do pretty much everything that you'd want out of a big, X receiver on the outside. So I love what Traylon Burks will be able to do here, having Traylon and DeAndre Hopkins as the outside receivers, and then in that flex spot, the slot, obviously, you have Rondale Moore, which I think would be a perfect, perfect compatibility between all three of them. You got your two bigger guys. One's better at running after the catch than the other. One's better not better, but one's just going to be able to come down with the ball. And then you have your slot receiver in Rondale Moore, who really can be that big play ability, that deep threat, and do a lot from that spot. So really like this pick here for the Cardinals. They finally get somebody to develop and be behind DeAndre Hopkins. Here at pick 55, we have the Cardinals selecting Darius Kendrick, the corner out of Georgia, with a next-gen grade of 75. He was dismissed from Clemson, so he transferred over to Georgia, had a very good season for Georgia as well. He's best in zone coverage. To be honest, his man coverage needs a lot of work, which could be a problem in this kind of system, but I think he'll be okay. I think his zone coverage is, bar none, probably one of the best in this class. But he can be used well. When you look at what this DB room has, Marco Wilson, Byron Murphy. I don't know why I was blanking on the last name there. Byron Murphy, Marco Wilson, really, you need an upgrade and you need more from these guys. So getting Darius Kendrick, he'd slot into that CB2 role. You'd be able to move Marco Wilson down and lessen his role on that defense. And I think that's just an awesome addition to this team. But really, DB is a big problem, especially when you're in the division that you are with, Cooper Kupp and DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett. Now they got Allen Robinson in LA as well, and that's not even including, Deebo Samuel and Ayuk out in San Fran. And this is a tough division, and you need to get some guys that can cover. And this is the best addition you can get at this spot. So Darius Kendrick at 55, loving this pick. Now we have our first and only trade of the night. We're going to move up to pick 71, and we're going to give up pick 87 and our 201st. So moving up about 16 slots, and we're giving up a late 6th, and that is okay with us because we have a guy in mind that we are moving up for. What do you think about this trade, Cardinals fans? Let me know in the comment section below. Sorry to interrupt the video, but I just want to talk to you about Underdog Fantasy really quick. The NFL season's over, but you could still draft a new fantasy team on Underdog Fantasy and win cash prizes. They have a slick mobile app and a user-friendly site. You can also join a league and draft a team in minutes. Plus, the folks at Underdog are helping you guys out that are watching the video by matching up to $100 on your first deposit for new users when you use code SORMANI, SORMANI. So just go to UnderdogFantasy.com or go download the App Store or the Google Play Store. Sign up with the code SORMANI, that's SORMANI, and Underdog is going to match your first deposit all the way up into $100. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code SORMANI, SORMANI. Now let's get back to this video. And we are moving up for James Cook, the running back out of Georgia, next gen grade of 77. This is a perfect Chase Edmonds replacement. You're trading up, you're securing Cook, and he is an elite receiving threat in this draft class out of the backfield. The guy has a lot of shiftiness. He's able to break tackles. He's got breakaway speed, much like his brother Dalvin. This is one of the better, if not the best, pass-catching back in this class, and he would be the perfect replacement to the Edmonds role. So that way you still run the same offense with Connor and Edmonds, except it's going to be Connor and Cook, which has a little bit of a ring to it. I'm not going to lie to you. But Connor's locked up for a contract. Cook will be locked up for a contract. You have that tandem for years to come. I think it's going to be perfect. And I would love to see James Cook in a Cardinals uniform to pair alongside with James Conner. Now all the way at pick 215 is our next selection. We're going to be taking Juan McCall out of Kentucky. Next gen grade of 51. Did not grade well from the combine, and that's because he's very much an old school nose tackle. He's just pretty much going to be there to plug the interior, and that's all you really need from him. Just adding more depth to this defensive line and getting more rotations in there. His nickname is Bully, and that you don't get that nickname for a reason. He basically is immovable at the line. He is not going to get moved backwards or anything. He is going to plug that interior. He's really going to line up in that interior, that nose tackle spot, and just stick there, man. That's really what it is. He's going to plug it up, and it's hard to get through. And this is a team that needs all the help they can get on the defensive line. So getting a guy like, McCall here can, is he going to be a starter? Probably not. He's pick 215, but he can go in there, help plug the middle, get some rotations in there, and I think will help out a ton. Juan McCall at 215. Now going ahead to pick 244, that is going to be Sam Webb, the corner out of Missouri Western. I don't know why I said that so weird. Missouri Western. And if you haven't heard of that school, most people haven't. But Webb is really a shining star for this program. He's a prototype press man corner, which is pretty much the opposite of what Darius Kendrick is, which is why I like getting Webb here, because you're getting the best of both worlds. You're getting a guy who is a press man, and you're getting a guy who is a zone coverage corner, and now you have two more corners into your DB room. That's going to help out a ton. He had a next-gen grade of 66, and when you're looking at it, like I said earlier with Kendrick, this is a DB room that just needs all the work it can, especially at the corner position, obviously. But at worst, Webb is going to become a special teamer, and that is going to be a solid special teamer at that while he works on his corner game and develops as well. But, with this DB room, the positions are open, man. If Webb is starting over Kendrick, that would be a great scenario as well, because you're finding a late round guy who really can do a lot for you. But, again, this DB room just needs all the help you can. You got to throw something to the wall and hope it sticks. Then with pick 254, Mr. Irrelevant, that is going to be Tanner Conner, the wide receiver out of Idaho State. He didn't have a next-gen grade. He was not at the combine, but he's a 6'3 receiver. But the reason I like him a lot is he originally was a track athlete recruit before he put the pads on. He didn't break out into the scene until the shortened season in 2020, but this is a guy that, was a track athlete. There's nothing more to say about it. He played football, but he's still not. He was going to college, or getting recruited to college to do track. So at 6'3", he's fast, he's agile, he's got a lot of different things. The reason I like it is because I think that he would be a solid return man possibly. But if not, just with that track speed and that agility and stuff would be an amazing special teamer. But who knows? Maybe he becomes a decent or solid receiver at that next level as well. But, you know, out of Idaho State, not a big school, obviously, but I think he can find a space on this roster, especially make the opening day roster, because, again, this receiver room is not deep. Right now, you have, I'm pretty sure it's Rondale Moore, Andy Isabella, and D-Hop. I'm pretty sure Wesley might come back. I think he's a free agent, but, yeah, there's just not much of a receiver room right now. I mean, yeah, you have Traylon Burks now, so that helps out a lot, but there's definitely room for another one, and that's what Tanner Connor is going to add to this roster. So here are all the new Arizona Cardinals. If you guys did miss them, they're all right here. But if you guys did enjoy this video, please be sure to leave it a like. It does help me out a ton. Go ahead and check out Underdog Fantasy and use promo code Sormani, SORMANI, and they'll match your first deposit up to $100, as you heard earlier on in the video. And it does help me out a bunch if you do leave that like if you did enjoy. If you didn't, it's okay. Just refresh the page and let me know what you think about it the second time. Because without further ado, that's going to be it for me. I'll see you guys in the next one.
How you talking 50K? How you talking making plays or just talking? Yeah. I do this here on my own time. Time is money, so I did it on my own dime. Word to Bookie, yeah, this homage gave me game. Yeah, he taught me family ties. Quick to back there, above me. Nah, I can't wait for you.